1. After age 60, we are bombarded with a constant stream of health advice, emphasizing that a fresh, green salad is the absolute pinnacle of a heart-healthy diet. We fill our refrigerators with various greens, from romaine to butter lettuce, thinking we're scrubbing our arteries clean and shielding ourselves from the diseases of aging. However, cutting-edge medical research is now shining a light on a terrifying and counterintuitive reality. The common lettuce leaf could be a silent, overnight trigger for a massive, life-altering stroke. This vegetable, which appears so crisp, natural, and benign, presents a unique and lethal set of biological challenges for the aging body that are rarely discussed in mainstream media. For a senior whose physiology is already transitioning, lettuce can introduce high levels of chemical interference and dangerous pathogens that the body can no longer efficiently fight off. Furthermore, the most popular variety, iceberg lettuce, is a nutritional dead end. It is composed of over 95% water and lacks the essential fiber, antioxidants, and minerals found in other vegetables, yet retains all the risks of contamination and chemical exposure. Doctors are increasingly documenting cases where seniors, striving to be healthy, suffer acute vascular catastrophes just hours after a large salad meal. You are essentially consuming a high-risk, zero-reward food that serves as a biological illusion of health while secretly straining your most vital systems. This filler vegetable takes up space in your gut, but offers no protection against arterial stiffness, while simultaneously acting as a potential carrier for systemic inflammation that targets the brain's delicate vascular network. 2. The most insidious and medically complex danger for millions of seniors lies in the direct vitamin K interference with critical cardiovascular medications. A vast portion of the population over 60 is prescribed anticoagulant blood thinners, such as Warfarin or Coumadin, specifically to prevent the formation of the lethal clots that cause strokes and heart attacks. These medications function by carefully blocking the body's vitamin K-dependent clotting factors to keep the blood at a safe, thin consistency, ensuring it flows freely through narrow or partially blocked vessels. However, certain types of lettuce, particularly dark, leafy varieties like romaine, red leaf, or mixed greens, are packed with vitamin K, the body's primary chemical for clotting and thickening the blood. When you consume an inconsistent or large amount of these greens, you are essentially introducing a potent antidote to your stroke prevention medication. This creates a volatile environment where your blood can thicken rapidly and form a massive clot while you're sedentary during sleep. The danger is not found in the vegetable itself, but in the erratic nature of its consumption. If you eat no greens for 3 days and then have a large, healthy salad on the 4th, you trigger a massive fluctuation in your blood's thickness that your doctor cannot monitor or control. This sudden rebound clotting effect is a primary hidden driver of nocturnal ischemic strokes, where a clot travels to the brain before the sun even rises, leaving the patient paralyzed or worse, all because of a simple salad mistake. 3. The second major threat is the bagged salad trap, which combines industrial processing risks with the extreme vulnerability of the senior immune system. Pre-washed, bagged lettuce mixes are statistically one of the most frequent vectors for large-scale bacterial outbreaks involving E. coli, Salmonella, and Listeria. In massive industrial facilities, lettuce is washed in huge communal tanks where the water is often recirculated. If a single contaminated leaf enters that tank, the bacteria are effectively painted onto every other leaf in the batch. These sealed plastic bags then create a moist, low-oxygen microenvironment where bacteria can multiply exponentially during transport and storage. While a younger person might experience only temporary digestive distress, for a senior, these pathogens trigger a systemic crisis. The resulting severe vomiting and diarrhea lead to rapid, acute dehydration, which causes your total blood volume to plummet. This makes your remaining blood incredibly viscous and sludgy, forcing your heart to pump with dangerous force against delicate, aging brain arteries that may already be weakened by age-related plaque. Simultaneously, the infection triggers a massive wave of systemic inflammation. This inflammatory surge releases cytokines that can cause stable, long-term plaque in your carotid arteries to become hot and rupture, leading to an immediate, catastrophic blockage of blood flow to the brain and an overnight stroke that could have been easily avoided by choosing cooked foods. 4. Beyond the immediate threats of bacteria and vitamins, conventional lettuce carries a heavy chemical and toxicological burden that accumulates over years of consumption. Because of its large, porous surface area and its growth pattern close to the soil, lettuce is one of the most heavily treated crops in industrial agriculture, frequently testing positive for multiple pesticide and herbicide residues that cannot be simply washed away with water. For a person over 60 whose liver and kidney filtration rates are naturally declining, processing these synthetic neurotoxins becomes a significant metabolic strain. Chronic exposure to these chemical residues contributes to persistent vascular oxidative stress, a process that slowly degrades the structural proteins within your arterial walls, making them thin, weak, and brittle like old parchment. Geriatric specialists are often stunned when an otherwise fit senior suffers a massive hemorrhagic stroke. Upon investigation, they often find a lifestyle of high-frequency consumption of raw, contaminated, or heavily treated greens that provided a false sense of security. This highlights a critical failure in senior health education: the dangerous belief that natural and raw are always safer alternatives to cooked foods. In reality, the chemical load of raw greens can create a tipping point where the body's vascular defenses finally fail under the pressure of a minor morning blood pressure spike. For the senior vascular system, the margin for error is razor thin, and these invisible toxins can be the final straw. 5. Protecting your independence and brain health requires an immediate and strategic shift in how you view your vegetable intake. Your action plan must begin today. First, sit down with your pharmacist or doctor to review your medications for any vitamin K or green leafy vegetable interactions and establish a strict, unwavering daily limit for these foods to keep your blood chemistry stable and predictable. Second, stop the habit of buying pre-washed, bag salads. The convenience of a ready-to-eat salad is never worth the risk of a life-threatening bacterial infection and subsequent vascular stress. The most effective strategy for seniors is to prioritize cooked vegetables over raw greens. Steaming, sautéing, or roasting your greens not only kills the pathogens that cause stroke-triggering dehydration, but also breaks down tough plant fibers, making the minerals and antioxidants much easier for your body to absorb. Switch your side dishes to safer, more stable alternatives like steamed broccoli, carrots, or lightly cooked spinach, which provide the fiber you need without the extreme risks of raw lettuce. If you must have a salad, buy whole heads of organic lettuce. Discard the outer leaves entirely, and wash the remaining leaves yourself in a vinegar and water solution to minimize risk. True longevity is not about following generic trends. It's about making informed, strategic choices that respect your changing biology. Avoid these risky raw lettuce leaves starting tonight, and give your brain the protection it deserves for a long, vibrant life.